Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Tatami Talk. My name is Juan, with my partner Anthony. This is a Judo podcast for Judo players by two Judo players. So Anthony, how you doing?
We're recording this episode on a Thursday, I believe. So I'm going to try and get this edited and uploaded by tomorrow because we've been busy this last week. Usually we record on a Sunday. Yeah. And that gives me like the whole week to like think about what we talked about, and maybe if we said something, I should cut it out, or like, you know, like,
Juan said something bad right there. Got to take that out right
this
there.
This is gonna be dangerous. This is gonna be dangerous. Where I'm gonna record, edit it, upload it, bam. So it's ready for tomorrow because we've been busy. I don't. I should be asking you how is it for you? Because we're recording late because you went on a trip with your wife, right?
Yeah. Screw it. We're doing it live. I'm gonna put out the right now. No, it's actually, I had a very interesting week, the day we normally record. It started off with it going to be a weekend trip. It was going to be like a 2-3 day weekend trip. And then changed into, let's just do a day trip. And we're going to go up north.
Day trips suck.
Yeah. I kind of don't like day trips. That's why I kept on pushing like, well, if we go somewhere, let's at least spend the night.
Yeah. Because it's stressful, like dealing in traffic.
Yeah. So originally it was going to be a day trip, and it was going to be about an hour and a half hour up north we're going to try to go to. And then she decided, no, let's go to San Diego instead. And I was like, all right, San Diego, that's a 2-hour drive south then.
What, like, 2 hours? I went there. It was like a 3 hour. You can do, okay. I'm not saying your car. next time we go to Las Vegas for judo, I'm driving again. When we went to Vegas, you're the one here going like 100 miles an hour. Be like, hey, Juan, look what I can do. Hey, my car sounds like it's going to 100. We were going like 80. Okay.
No, I was in the back seat. Like I started in the front, I ended up in the back. Be like, oh my God, the G-force is too much. No. So, then it turned into, we actually just did a day trip out by you. And I didn't want to tell you I was out by you because I didn't want to like upset you or nothing, but we ended up just going to, Redondo Beach for the day.
That's a nice beach. Yeah.
Yeah, because
you go to Quality Seafoods.
Which one's that one? Is that the big?
You know, by the pier, there's the seafood market where you can order crabs and stuff, and they'll steam it for you. Yeah. So I remember the name of the places, but normally when we go there, we usually just walk around the rocks and stuff. She calls it hunting because we'll like look for stuff. You know, we'll look for crustaceans and stuff. Like take off some what is it? Those oysters and stuff. She'll have me do all that work for her. Yeah. It was a funny thing is she'll do all the work and then it's like, okay, let's put it all back now. And I'm like, oh. I just climbed over these rocks to get this stuff for you. Now you want to go back because the first time we did it, we used to do it at another beach over by Portugal. And we brought home a bunch of stuff one time and she ended up just maybe throwing half of it or like 2/3 of it away. She's like, I can't figure out how to cook this, or it's not the same. It's not as fresh as I thought it was going to be. Or it's like, yes, it's the LA water. What did you expect? So next time you come out here where I am, have you ever been to Point Vicente out here?
No.
It's like near where Torrance Beach is, but further south, there's like a bluff and people go out there to go whale watching actually. Actually, I shouldn't talk about this on the podcast. I don't want people to find out my secret spot. It's actually, I'll send it to you next time. It's a great spot to watch the sunset actually. And, whale watching and everything. So I recommend you go there, take your wife there. It's really nice. So
we were supposed to go there early in the morning, but, so we did end up going. There's something did happen in the morning time. I actually haven't told you about this yet. I've told other people at the dojo about it, but, we didn't go in the morning, like still early afternoon, like around 10 in the morning stuff. And we ate at this one seafood restaurant we always eat at. She was very unhappy with the food there because she wasn't happy with the crab. Then we were walking and I show like, look, this is what I wanted to really show you because my wife is lazy. She doesn't like walking that much.
She doesn't listen to the podcast, right?
No. Okay. But it was supposed to be a day trip. So we brought our fishing rod with us and this is funny, like she wants to go fishing all the time, but she doesn't want to do the work.
She wants to do it by the pier, not go out on the boat and everything. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take her on a boat because I know as soon as you get out the boat, she'll be like, I'm bored. Let's go home. Yeah. I'm like, I can't go home on this boat. We're stuck out here till they tell us to leave, till they want to leave.
Yep.
But yeah. So I bought a Daiso fishing rod for her like last year and stuff about the hooks and all that. So we did at the pier. 5 minutes there. She's already like, no, we didn't catch shit.
Okay, nothing. I thought a cop, because you're supposed to get a permit.
No, not on the pier. The pier you can fish with no problem. If you're on the rocks or anywhere else in Los Angeles, I believe in California because that's where my friends used to go, like Matt and my buddy Josh and stuff, and I go bug them. But we go to like Santa Cruz and stuff in college. And at any pier, you can fish at the designated fishing area of any pier in California. You don't need a license. But if I go to the rocks and decide to fish there or somewhere else, at a lake or something, that's when I need a permit.
I just looked it up. You're right. Yep.
Damn straight, I'm right. But yeah, so we started fishing, and like 5 minutes in, she's like, "Oh, I'm bored. I'm not catching nothing." Like, what did you expect? What did you want?
I like fishing, and I've never ever caught a fish in my life, but I still think it's fun.
Yeah,
it's about the experience.
To me, when I used to go with my friends, I just go make fun of them, just hang out, read comics, or just hang out and stuff. Drink. Well, not drink. We used to drink when I was in my high school friends. We weren't drinking in high school. No drinking in high school. Okay. But we started off going up to San Francisco at the pier up there, and we'd go crabbing. And then we got older, we started crabbing and drinking, where it became more about drinking than it became about crabbing. But yeah, so I kind of want to tell you the story, but I kind of don't. I wanted my fan or listeners to know about this also. But so in my neighborhood, there's crashes all the time. Accidents happen all the time in my neighborhood.
Koreatown, yeah.
Yeah, I hear about I hear accidents all the time. So that morning when we're walking to our car, I heard a big crash, and I was like, "Oh, another accident. We might have to go out the back way." Then I heard a second crash and a third crash. And I'm like, just like a multi-car crash. Like I was looking like 4 cars got hit or something. I turned the corner to look at the street, and I see a car on its side.
Oh my God.
On its side. Its wheels is facing my apartment complex. It's on its side and stuff. And I'm like, holy shit. So I tossed my bag to Yukiko. I told her to stay here, but of course she doesn't.
Yeah.
I tossed my bag to her. I looked both ways across the street because I ain't going to get hit by no car. Luckily, there was a whole lot of traffic for me, at least. I ran across the street. I helped the guy at the car. Like, make sure he's okay. Like, dude, are you all right? What happened? You okay? 2 other gentlemen were right there as well. And we helped the guy out the car. Out of nowhere, Yukiko says what her, but I don't know, sound and stuff. But someone screams, "Call 911." And I look behind me, and there's a body in the floor.
Oh,
yeah. And I just knew it after just looking at it for a second. I was like, they're gone. I knew that they're.
I remember I think Matthew sent me a link to the news article. And I was like, oh yeah, Juan said that he saw this. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, Matt was there. He overheard me talking to somebody about it, so I told him the whole story. It's like, yeah. So I ran across the street, helped to get the car, and then I saw the body. I was like, shit, they're gone. Like the way their body was, I was like, there's no way. Then some other.
This is a residential neighborhood in K-Town. So how fast were these guys going?
Well, it's not residential. Like, yeah, it's a residential area, but it's a main street. Yeah, and people. The way the stop is right here, people always run yellow lights and run red lights all the time.
I know exactly which intersection because I picked up Matthew before from your,
and people, the whole thing is that someone made a left, someone was making a left, probably at the yellow light or something. Mm-hmm. The other car, and I'm not saying what happened. I don't know. I'm just theorizing here. Someone's making a left. It's an unprotected left turn. So you have to make the left when traffic's died down. Most people make the left right at the yellow light or sometimes at the red because you don't want to block traffic. The Humvee or the SUV, it was some sort of SUV. I think it was like I want to say it was an H3 or something. Mm-hmm. It was either H3 or a really nice Jeep.
Yep.
Probably ran the red light or ran the yellow, what it was. Didn't decide to stop, hit, flip, over.
Yeah.
And somebody lost her life.
There's a street, there's a big street right down the block from my neighborhood, from where I live, and people always try and run the yellow light, so they speed at like 90 miles an hour trying to make it. And there were a few times where it was like green for me, and then the car just zooms by. So now I make it a habit when the light turns green. I wait a second and then I inch forward and look before I go. And there's always some guy behind me that's like honking at me to go. Yeah. It's like, as soon as the light turns green, they're honking at you to go. But I don't care. I don't want to get hit. I seriously, just because I did that, I avoided someone doing that like at least 10 times in the past 2 years. So it's better to play it safe because this kind of stuff happens. And that's called defensive driving. So
that was pretty crazy. My wife was kind of freaking out from what was happening and stuff. I had to calm her down. And I told her, just like, well, do you still want to go this day trip or do you want to stay home? And I was like, even if she says, let's just stay home. So we're like, no, let's go on this trip because I don't want you to stay home and just stew on this. Just think about what happened. And so it was pretty funny because not pretty funny, but it's interesting how it went from me making sure this guy was okay and all right, getting him out the car, to me now staying there to the police state to make sure he didn't run away.
Oh, he caused it. Yeah.
I don't know who caused it. I'm just saying that the situation that happened, it looked like it was him most likely, but the other driver wasn't like freaking out or trying to leave or nothing. His car was there. And I was worried that this other guy was going to try to escape. So I was kind of just staying there, hovering about, just making sure that when the police come, they knew who was there. No one tried to run away. No one had a car pull up and try to take them outside or nothing, try to escape.
Yeah.
Just staying there, assessing the situation. But that was my Sunday. That was pretty interesting. And then after we did our little day trip and stuff, we stopped by Tokyo Central and got some groceries.
I think I was there too on Sunday.
No, you were. You posted your thing. And I was like, oh shit, hopefully Anthony didn't see it. And I saw what time you posted.
You saw the lunch that I bought.
I was like, he was there hours before us. You want to actually piss me off? It's kind of a side thing. This is now 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks in a row, maybe 3 weeks in a row, that we've gone to Tokyo Central for their pastry.
The bakery place.
Yeah. Okay. We went there one day and we got there like at 5 or 6 and they're already closed. Like, oh, but the pastries are still there. They're still hanging out.
Bakery. You got to learn the bakery's open in the morning. They're not, you're going to get leftovers.
You know what I'm talking about? The one that's in the food court that's in that back corner.
It's a nice place. Yeah.
So we went there one day and they had all the strawberry muffins, just not strawberry muffins. They were all the cream pie, not cream pie. What the hell were they?
Cream puffs.
Cream puffs. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Still out there. And I'm like, I was about to just go walk in the back and take them myself. But we didn't.
You can tell me, I usually stop by that Tokyo Central before I go to the dojo so I can actually pick up stuff on the Saturday for you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so then we went there. So after we did our little beach trip and stuff, walked around the beach and all our things, got some crab. I bought my wife like 8 crabs at that fish market. Mm-hmm. So we got like 8 fresh crabs. And I was like, here, baby, see, I love you. Here, 8 fresh crabs. We stopped by there on the way home and we got there like 3:32 or 3:34 or something. Mm-hmm. And they closed at 3:30. We're like, come on here.
They're short on workers right now. So they close early. Yeah.
But we did stop by after that. We stopped by, what's that one that's just down the street from there? Oh my God.
99 Wrench?
No. We did stop by there later and stuff, but no. Wow. What's that? It's a Japanese market that's not too far from there.
Nijiya?
Yes, Nijiya.
Yeah.
We stopped by that Nijiya and I got pastries there instead.
They're more expensive.
Yeah, but they had nice stuff though. They had nice pastries. It's pretty good.
All right.
God, we're just getting off topic talking about our weekends. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
On to Judo. We are hosting, since I'm uploading this tomorrow, it will be a kind of short notice, but we are hosting a Judo tournament this Sunday again, the Inter Dojo.
No, not this Sunday. Right? Next Sunday, 13th.
Next Sunday. Okay.
Next Sunday. Not this Sunday. It'll be the next one. Super Bowl weekend. So if you're in the area, you can watch
Super Bowl was this weekend.
No, this is the playoffs. These are the AFC and NFC playoffs.
Oh, okay.
They're championships.
Okay. So
if I said that correctly, we're not full football player guys here. Okay. We're judo players.
So I know, because we realized someone's like, oh, that's Super Bowl. And we're like, oh crap, we better make it earlier. Like,
that's the Super Bowl weekend. You know, that is the day of the Super Bowl. You know that, right, guys? Like, oh no.
I blame it on all the dojos. They didn't tell us that.
Yeah, they did. Again, we're judo players. We're not football players here. Okay. But yeah, so in 2 weeks from now, so our next podcast, it'll be the week after our next podcast. Whatever. Yeah. Super Bowl weekend, we're hosting a judo tournament at Hollywood Judo. It's going to be another 3-team tournament. It'll be Hollywood Judo versus Sawtelle Judo versus Goltz Judo. And some people are rigging their team, so there might be some other dojos in there as well.
Rigging their team. It's like, this guy, Ilideus Jones, Iladeus Jones.
Got a dad drawn on a mustache. Like, you already have a mustache, sir. What do you mean?
This is Travis Stevenson.
This is Tarvis Steve. Oh my God. But yeah, so that's gonna be pretty fun. I don't think, are we gonna try to stream it again? Or like you and me, are we gonna try to stream it?
That's funny because there are. I'm trying to say, well, what should I not say? The short version is we have some internet problems, and I also went to the store to see how much it would be to rent like a portable Wi-Fi kind of thing, but they don't do they don't even do monthly rentals. Like you have to sign a contract. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I do have some other tricks up my sleeve, but I don't have time. I've been busy at work, so I haven't had time to handle it. So
steal it from the apartment next door.
Nah, maybe, but we'll have to figure it out later on. Probably not this tournament. We're not going to stream, but I will try to record it. Because we talked about if we can't live stream it, at least we'll record it and maybe put it up on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we watch out for that. Maybe we'll put it on our YouTube channel with highlights. So, yeah, it was fun last time, and we only had 2 injuries, I think, that happened last time. So only 2 injuries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. So that's happening. Now let's get to some more international judo news. Mm-hmm. So as most people are wondering, what's the schedule for judo going to come? What's the IJF's going to put it out? When's it going to come? People need to figure out what their schedule is going to be, what they're going to compete at. So was it last week or is it beginning? It was last week because we didn't do it last week. It was this week. No, last week, whatever week it was. The IJF put out their schedule for the tournaments. So what's happening this weekend? Depending on when Anthony decides to post this, it may already be happening. It might already happened.
It'll be happening. Yeah.
Be happening. So the first tournament of the year starts off in Portugal, which is cool because this is Portugal's first time hosting one of the IJF tournaments. They've had tournaments before. I know they've had like the Masters there before.
The veterans. Yeah.
The veterans. Yeah. I keep wanting to say the Masters tournament was there. Are you sure it wasn't?
Because it used to be called Masters. Yeah. It's veterans now.
So this is pretty good. This is good for them. They have a lot of good players on there. They have the current world champion in, is it under 80 kilos? Oh, no, not under 80, under 100 kilos.
Oh yeah. I want to say Francisco, but it's not Vanesca. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the current world champion right now. So it's like his home tournament for him. It's really good. So that's happening this weekend right now.
Or Jorge Fonseca. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's a Grand Prix. Then our next tournament is going to be a Grand Slam. That's the Paris Grand Slam.
Paris. That's the one that Johnny is talking about going to. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Go. Dude, Johnny, if you listen to this right now, do it, man. Go. Yeah. Have fun. And take some videos for me too, so we can put up some post stuff.
He was asking me, so if he goes, maybe I'll go with him. It's pretty cold in France right now. I don't know if I want to go.
My God, really? It's gonna be in February.
It'll still be cold. Yeah, it'll still be cold.
Was it February 5th through February 6th? Who cares? Come on, it's experience. I'm gonna get hate for it, but I don't really like Paris. I like other part. I don't like other parts of France, just not Paris. The city of love. Oh, how can you say that? You have no heart, good sir. Get out.
Parisians are kind of mean.
La. I got tons of them. Just keep going. Just keep bringing. I got more shit. So that's gonna be the second tournament of the year. Yep. Then we're gonna have another Grand Slam, which is that's gonna be, which is kind of funny because usually they have them separate. Like they'll be like Grand Prix, Grand Slam, Grand Prix, It's like it's separate, but they're having like 3 in a row. So
maybe they're like trying to make up for COVID like delays and Olympic points, or because the Grand Slams I think they're worth more points. They're worth more points. Yeah. So next one will be in February 17th and 19th, which is they have 2 Grand Slams in 1 month, which is crazy. So if you're in France, might as well stay out there and go to Israel. Why not? The next Grand Slam is going to be, again, a 3rd Grand Slam. In Georgia. It's going to be in Georgia in March. Yeah. So that's going to be a very interesting tournament. Then we're going to go to
Another Grand Slam.
You know, our Georgian dojo member, he should have went out to get married in March.
He might stay out there till March and try to sneak himself in there.
Yeah, he says it belongs in the Olympic team. So
yeah, you know, brown belts go to the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
I know you're listening to us.
Green belt can go to Olympics apparently. So
we miss you. All right. So after that, then we're going to have the April tournament, which is another Grand Slam, which is going to be in Turkey. That's usually a pretty good tournament. I usually see a lot of good players going out there to that one. Then another Grand Slam in May. That's going to be
in Russia.
The 20th to the 22nd is going to be in Russia. Then might as well stay out there again, because in June, you're going to have it in Germany, another Grand Slam. God, there's like all Grand Slams this year.
You say might as well stay out there because most of the judokas live in Europe, and it's like a short travel distance for them relatively.
Yeah. Well, for the North American, South American players, just stay out there. It's all happening in Europe for the most part.
Just move there and train there full time, you know.
But after Germany, then I would suggest going to Asia for a little while, because at the end of the month or middle of the month, June 24th and 26th is going to be in Mongolia, another Grand Slam. Yeah. Which is a good tournament for a lot of Asian players to go to that one. So,
yep.
And then we're going to round off the year. I don't round off the year, but we're going to get to the middle of the year. In July, we're going to have it in Hungary. That's another Grand Slam. And then we're going to go to Croatia. God, I always think of Mikro Krokop when I see that flag. That's just how I think. Or Stipe. Maybe I should start thinking about Stipe now. So I'm older.
It's called Stipe Zagreb.
Yeah. And that's going to be in July. So they're going to be in Croatia. They're going to go to Uzbekistan in October. And they were going to go to UAE in October. So Middle East area. If you're there for Uzbekistan, stay out there. Just go to UAE afterwards.
Uzbekistan is going to be the World Championships.
Is it?
Yeah, that's going to be in Tashkent.
Oh,
that's the World Championships.
So World Champs this year is going to be in October.
Yep.
Isn't it usually? No.
It's usually around then, yeah. Because I remember around my birthday, that's always when I watch all the replays.
But you went to Japan in August last time.
Yeah, that was my birthday trip.
Your birthday's in October.
Yeah, it's around that time it's around that time frame though.
This guy here. It's my birthday 3 months.
No, I went to August, but the World Championships was in September.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the UAE in October, hosting a Grand Slam. The World Championships is also going to be in October, beginning of the month, on the 2nd through 9th in Uzbekistan.
Yep. Then the Tokyo Grand Slams in December.
Yeah, no, but then we got it's going to be the Grand Slam in Uzbekistan, and then we got Azerbaijan. So in November, the November tournament, it's going to be Azerbaijan. It's going to be the 4th through the 6th. That's a Grand Slam. Is there only one Grand Prix the entire year? It looks like.
Yeah, it looks like I said, they may be making up for it, but there's no Osaka Grand Slam this year.
Tokyo's just gained a Grand Slam in December.
They're used to, yeah. So
they usually get two. They usually get the Osaka.
It's usually get two, Osaka and Tokyo, and usually it's in November. So I might have to rearrange my trip to December then.
Christmas in Tokyo.
I spent Christmas in Tokyo one year. It's nice. It's cold, but it's nice.
Is it cold? I bet it is cold.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too cold for me to go to Paris though.
Everything's heated there. You can go to the convenience store and get hot heated canned drinks.
You know, there's a place called 7-Eleven also that you can go get some hot drinks at.
It's just hot coffee. You can't get hot
mocha.
It's different. The vending machines have hot drinks too.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, I didn't know that. So now I'm going to have to reevaluate my Japan trip this year.
If they allow you in the country also.
If they allow me in the country, yeah.
If they allow you. You can sneak in.
I'll just tell Johnny to compete in it, and I'll be his coach this year because he asked me to coach him.
All right.
Last time. So yeah.
But couldn't you not do because Vietnam already had a coach, so you couldn't do it?
I think if you wanted to, it could. That's what he said. But yeah, it worked out.
And then last thing on the schedule, is, well, it's not lasting on schedule. It's in the middle. It's in December as well. Is the Masters. They have not determined which country is going to be in just yet. It just says to be is it TBC, and that's going to be December 16th and 18th, which is the Masters, which is, for most people that don't know what the Masters is, again, it doesn't mean like it's the old person's tournament. It just means that you're one of the best in the world, and it's an invite only tournament. So it's only the top players. It's
top 36 of each weight class.
Yeah. So it's the best of the best. You can't just go because like your country sends you, or like, oh, I got money. Yeah. Johnny can't go. Sorry, Johnny. If you're hearing this, sorry. We might sneak you in though.
Yeah.
No, you look like you're going to say something. That's why.
No, I was just thinking like it used to be top 16, but then they changed it to top 36.
I was just about to say that right now. I was about to say top 16, but then you said top 30. I was like, did it change? I don't
know. The first, so it says after being open for the top 16 in each weight class for its first 8 installments. So the first 8 times that they hosted it. So it's from 2010 to 2018. There was this top 16, and then now they expanded it to host top 36. So
see, that's still top 16 always sound like Sweet 16, like the best 16 players, 16 karat gold. You know, it's all these like tournament things that like the top 16 that makes sense to me. Only top 16, but top 32, it's like
36.
Top 36 doesn't seem that special no more.
Yeah, I don't know why 36 though. Well, why that number?
It has to do. You want to know what it has to do with getting people more points. It has to do with getting points. We only have 3 years or less than 3 years now. Shit, the Winter Olympics is happening like what, in 2 weeks or something?
Or is it?
Something like that, isn't it? Yeah, the Winter Olympics happen like in a week or two. So so when that's how I always measure it. That's how I do it. From the Winter Olympics, it's like 2 years from there. So it's 2 years. You only got 3 years. You get those points.
Well, okay. Well, that's the plan for this year, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I know our tournament episodes don't do the best, but because it's judo, we have to talk about certain things. So if anything, we're going to talk about the Masters tournament. We'll do an episode for that. And we're going to do one for the World Championships. Those are 2 tournaments that we will cover and we always cover. So don't skip, please. They're fun. They're interesting. You might see a judo player, a Georgian Spanish judo player. We're wearing a PlayStation gi. I still can't know where. I don't know. And I don't know how he got that gi.
We did talk. I'm excited for this year because we have new rules. Like the previous episode, we talked about it. Yeah. Also, we also talked about changing the guard. Like we're starting to see the older, bigger names, like starting to their performance is dropping. They're getting knocked out early in the rounds. A lot of people, like we talked about, Zantaraya, which is the topic of this episode, is retirement. And Zantaraya retired, Munkhbat retired. Like all these people are retiring, and we're seeing all these up and coming stars that have talent, but they're not quite there yet. They're not consistent, and their judo is still kind of like rough around the edges. So it'll be really interesting to see how those people will fight. Like, for example, I don't think Ono's he's the next Olympics, if he does go, will probably be his last one. I think that's my guess. It'll be interesting watching him fight all the up and coming people in the next Olympics and for the next year. So there's new rules, new younger generation coming. It's exciting.
It is interesting. Like I said, the new rules that have changed some stuff up, had a lot of complaints about it. Some people don't like what I call the judo tilt being taken down. Some people are really mad about that. I don't care. It's not a real judo move. It's not high impact enough for me. Like, if you pick the guy up and drop him down, be like, okay, cool. But you're just wrestling a person down their back. I don't like that. But it's also, in my opinion, and it's going to go back to, I know people are tired of hearing this, because of COVID, because of the pandemic, the Olympics got pushed back. The World Championships got pushed back. We had World Championships Olympics in 1 year. We're going to have the next Olympics in 3 years. You know, it's just like,
well, people had plans. Less than 2 years.
Yeah, less than 2 years. Okay, less than 3 years. All right. People had plans. People had their stuff structured. Like, I'm going to go to this Olympics, maybe take a year off, come back, heal up. You can't right now. I think that's probably why they're doing all the Grand Prix this year, to get the points that people need to qualify for the Olympics. So if I was going to take a year off, what Teddy Reiner did, he took like a year and a half off, you know?
Probably it's close to 2, I think.
Yeah. Took like 2 years off and stuff, healed up, rested, get some stuff done that you need to get done. Maybe, I don't know what, but it took that time to get ready to come back strong. These people right now, after the Tokyo Games, they're not getting that. You get jumped right back into the fire. You had the holiday season off because a lot of people didn't compete after the Olympics for the most part. You had that, and it's starting now. Like right now, as we're talking, it is starting now.
Yep.
But that goes into our thing about talking about retirement, because one of your favorite players, one of my favorite players, Munkhbat, fighting out of Mongolia, great player, one of the top players in the world, retired.
I personally think most underrated.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know how you consider her underrated. She's one of the top players. Like just this year alone.
Everyone talks about Ono. Everyone talks about the Abe siblings. Everyone knows who Zantarai is. Everyone knows who Maruyama is. Like,
who's that? Who's that? Maruyama. Who's that? I never heard of that person before.
No, everyone knows those guys, but no one talks about Munkhbat. Like, I don't even know if does Philippe know? Like, I should ask him. Like,
no, he knows Munkhbat. He does. Okay. We talked about her and stuff before. Yeah. But in my opinion, this is why Anthony nominated her as his female player of the year, I think. In 1 year, when I talk about people that win, like we had one player, a guy, I can't remember her, I always mess up her name, the French girl, the French woman.
Bouclé? No, the French woman. Abignenu? Yes,
Abignenu. How she took gold in the World Championships and gold in the Olympics and gold at the team tournament, like 3 golds in 1 year. Amazing. Munkhbat, she's retiring at, she's not even that old, in my opinion. She's only 31. Okay.
In only judo age, that's pretty old. Competitive.
If she was 35, I'll be like, yeah, I get it. But 31 is like, you still like 3 years. You only be 33, 34. Like, but I don't know. But again, like I'm saying, she's retiring on top of in my opinion, because in the World Championships this year, she took third. Okay.
Yep.
At the Olympics, she took third. She took bronze and bronze.
Yep.
So she's retiring top 3 in the world, solid top 3. And my thing about her, why she's one of my favorite players, is because she's a great player that throws well and goes into newaza. She's not one of these players that just throws.
Super well-rounded. Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't throw and look at the ref like, what was that? Was that a score? Was that something? No. Okay. Now I'll go into newaza. No, she throws immediately into newaza. Like whether it's an ippon or not, she throws and continues, which is the type of judo I love. That's the type of judo I love watching. And do you have anything to say about her judo?
No, I agree. I love watching. She's, like I said, is the most well-rounded judo player. Good newaza, super aggressive in the stand-up. She is Mongolian, so she has that really good close distance style and just mauls the crap out of you. Like
mauls the crap out of you.
Yeah, and she has plenty of good techniques. It's not like, it's different. I'm not saying like, oh, Shohei Ono or Maruyama is not good. It's just like, yeah, but Uchibata's coming. Osotogai is coming. For her, it's like, you don't know what the hell is going to come. Like you just know she's pretty good at everything, which is in itself a separate skill set, I think. So
let me just go through what she's done in her career. Okay. So Olympics, bronze medals. Okay. She was a world champion at 48 kilos. That's all she fought. I don't think she should be
2013. Yeah.
Yeah. So in 2013, she won the world championships. She's a 2-time bronze medalist and 2-time silver medalist at the world championship. So even at the world champions, she has 5 medals in the world champion.
She's also the first female world champion from Mongolia.
Yeah. And little side note, when I was doing research on her, before she was fully on the team, I don't know if she was fully on the team or she just started, because it seemed like it was the beginning of her career. She won the Sambo World Championships back in 2010. She took gold. So that just shows how well-rounded she is right there. To do Sambo also. So she knows the leg. She knows how to get your leg, straighten it out for you. I love that shit. But it brings up, what do judo players do after retire? Like some people think that just right off into the sunset, old Yeller style. Oh, I'm sorry. Look at the bunny. Look at the bunny. If you get that reference, I'm sorry. All American Shigs. You should have read that book in middle school, I believe. When you read it in high school? I think it was middle school. You should have read it.
No, probably not.
No? No, you don't think so?
The schools I read in Hong Kong, British schools are probably different from the ones you read.
Probably. But it's, what do judo players do when they retire? You know, what are in the cards for her? Do you think she's going to go into coaching? Do you think maybe she'll go like maybe?
Well, she already announced what she's doing. She's going to MMA. Like, yeah,
I was going to lead to that.
Okay.
That's why I talked about the Sambo and I was going to get into that. God damn it, Anthony, you ruined my lead up. Which is why
I thought you were asking me, but I guess it was rhetoric. So
yeah, because I was going to go into what is she going to do? Because I'm going to talk about, well, what a lot of judo players, what do they end up doing? Some go into coaching, some just retire. And I know one thing that when I talk to some high level players, sometimes they talk about how some just retire after such a high level because they can't take being thrown by some 20-year-old brown belt or some 20-year-old like first dan because they're stronger or faster. So he trips them up. It's like, I'm just done. Once I'm done with judo, I'm done with judo, you know? Some go into coaching, some open up their own gyms, and some go into teaching in their own countries. And some go into now what's become more popular is like analyzing fights, analyzing judo matches, because a lot of countries have better.
I want that job. I want to be one of those scouts that gets sent to tournaments and like record all the data and record videos. That's my ideal job. But yeah.
And the last one was now modern day judo players, a lot that are really good, are going to MMA. So the first thing I want to talk about besides the MMA one, that's the last one I discussed, is going into coaching. And not all great judo players become great coaches, but some great judo players become amazing coaches. Like for an example, here in America, when Jimmy Page retired, he started just teaching his own dojo, and he he molded them from nothing, but using his system and the way he coached Kayla Harrison. He coached Travis Stevens. He also helped out Ronda Rousey
and Marty Malloy.
Yeah. I more give her to San Jose State, but yeah, and Marty Malloy. All these good American players. He has a 2-time gold medalist. He has a silver medalist, a bronze medalist. He has 2 bronze medalists. Did Marty Malloy? She got a bronze, right?
She got a bronze, yeah.
Yeah, got a bronze medalist right there. Okay, so that's really cool. Like for an American system, right there. Then you get people that are retiring. That is pretty recently, like Eliadis. Okay, when Eliadis retired, which if you go on his YouTube videos or his Instagram, the dude don't even look like he retired. The guy's training harder now. It looks like they did when he was competing. All right. I'm surprised that Eliadis isn't going to MMA the way he's looking right now. You're looking at his video right now.
No, I'm also thinking about Zantaraya retired at the beginning of this new year, and he's opening his own judo school.
Okay. So, but people always think that's like, oh, they're going to open up their own dojo and stuff, but not all of them do that. But some of them do. But like Eliadis, like I think he took a year off or something, maybe 2 years. What's it, 2 years?
Yeah, there was a while where he was just posting a lot on social media. It was just, I remember every day I look at his Instagram story and it's just him lifting weights and then a picture of him like wiping the sweat off his face like this.
See, that's why I thought he was going to go into MMA because he's a great judo player. He's super aggressive. Just teach this guy how to kickbox.
I don't think he would pass the drug test. So.
Oh man, this guy right here. So that's, if you're ever in America, come to Hollywood Judo. I'll introduce you to Anthony.
I saw him in Tokyo. He's bigger than he looks on social media.
Dude, he ain't cutting weight no more. All right. Yeah. He ain't making 90 kilos.
He used to fight in like 60, right? When he was young.
Yeah. He was 60, then 80 something. And I think his last year was 90, wasn't it?
80. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. He's freaking huge now.
Yeah. But yeah, so he retired and then took some time off, figure out what he wanted to do. And what country is it that he coaches for? Uzbekistan now? Yeah. And now he's the head coach of Uzbekistan, which is weird to me. This is the only reason it's weird to me. Okay. So he speaks Georgian, of course, because he grew up in Georgia.
Yeah.
I assume he speaks Greek also, since he's on the Greek team. Does he speak English as well? Like I've heard him speak.
He does.
English.
His Judo Fanatics video on Seo Itoshi is actually and a bunch of, he has videos in Judo Fanatics. It's in English. It's pretty good English. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do they speak in Uzbekistan?
I don't know.
Uzbekistana?
Let me look it up.
Look it up right now, because it would be tough to go to another country and not be able to communicate with your players. It would be a lot of show and stuff, but
it's Turkic language.
Turkish language?
Yeah.
Okay.
They speak Uzbek, basically.
Uzbek, yeah.
We had a couple Uzbekistan kids that was here for like a couple of months, and then I guess the older brother felt like the beginners class was too easy for him, even though he wasn't doing that well, and that's why they probably went somewhere else. But yeah, they speak Uzbek, so yeah.
Okay. So how many languages does he speak then? Like 3 or 4 languages? That's crazy. But that's one of the things, like when you get hired from a coach from another country to come over, like how they'll have like Japanese coaches, they'll hire a Japanese player to come to like France or something. And that's not a similar language at all. Yeah. I always talk about the language of judo, but that's like something.
I think Croatia has a Japanese coach now. I think, but yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that'd be something crazy. Well, yeah, so he took on the team, and it's pretty crazy going from just being a competition guy to being a head coach, because he is the head coach of the team, and they're doing well. Like I don't think they are. I think they're doing better than they were. Not saying they're better than they were before, but he has some players that are being very I've seen do well. And off the top of my head. Maybe I'm not up to date, but last time I watched, like most of them didn't really do very well. And then I remember Travis Stevens in an interview saying that Iladeus is overtraining his athletes, like overdoing it. I could definitely see that. Because again, you watch his Instagram and his stuff. If you hear Travis Stevens of all people say you're overtraining, you're overtraining. Like, and they're friends. Weren't they like training partners? Like they used to work together all the time at the.
I think they were probably for Judo Fanatics too. They worked together for that. Yeah, I think they also had him come over for probably saw him in training camps or seminars. So like that's pretty cool. Japan is always known for taking their ex-judo players, ex-international players, and turning them into coaches for the team. Like right now, their head coach is Keiji Suzuki.
Yeah. Oh, Suzuki took the head coach. I thought he was one of the men's heavyweight guys. I thought that it was still Kosei.
No, I told you there's term limits. So
yeah. I don't know the term limits. Okay, I'm American. God damn it.
He retired after the Olympics because.
Did he? Oh, okay.
Not retired. He left the position, stepped down because there's a term limit. So now the next person is Keiji Suzuki. Yep. And before Kosei, it was what's his rival's name? I can't remember off the top of my head. He's a comedian now.
Yeah. He didn't. Yeah, but he didn't do a term limit. He was replaced.
Oh, Japan he was replaced because he couldn't
Japan
keep his mouth shut.
No, he was replaced because of that. Like, okay, this is me from watching my Japanese stuff. Japan was mad that they didn't do so well in Rio with him as their head coach.
Was that his fault? I think he was kicked off before that.
I thought he was kicked off right after that. I don't know. People think both sides right here, but I remember being that Japan was mad that they didn't do so well in Rio, like right before they went to Tokyo, and they're like, nope, we need somebody better, and we need somebody else. Get Kosei in here, and dude, look how they did in the Olympics. They just fucking destroyed out there. Did great.
Yeah, I don't think. No, the previous coach, I think he got asked to leave because
he was
Shinohara. No, because he would get kicked out for coaching during action. You're not supposed to do that, right? So they would ask him to leave, and he would be at the stands like shouting, and then they ask him to leave the arena.
I'm a fan now. You can't tell. I got my ticket right here. Look, I bought a ticket.
Yeah.
So Japan's really known for taking their ex-players and making them into coaches and stuff. And a lot of old judo players, they'll open up their own dojos or go back to teaching in colleges because you can make money out there doing that. Not here in America.
He's in the Yakuza game as himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're about to just say he's in Yakuza. I'll be like, no. Allegedly, I don't know. But again,
you can't just say that.
You can come to Hollywood Judo, find Anthony. Anthony comes back like, he's all like, so Juan, how you doing? I can't get a good grip now for some reason. And so those are some examples of ex judo players, really high level judo players. What they did afterwards, they became coaches, owned their own gyms, created an American judo system like Travis Stevens, and becoming the American judo coach that way also. So it's very interesting that way. Another thing that's coming up now is because of social media and because the IJF now wants to promote more stuff on YouTube, promote more stuff on their Instagram, on Twitter and stuff, try to get judo bigger. Because it's kind of a weird thing that they have where some countries, like here in the US, judo is not very popular. But then in other countries like Japan, Mongolia, France, and stuff, other big judo countries, it is huge out there. You can get a job being a judo analyst, like how in America here, you're a retired football player, guess what you become? An analyst, ESPN, Fox, whatever the things.
We don't have the money here to do that here, but in other countries, yeah.
Yeah, but in other countries, like if I'm a retired Japanese judo player, I can start working for NHK as a judo analyst.
Well, the way it works in Japan is even if you're not an Olympic team, like there's corporate sponsors that have judo team. Like there's a all Japan businessmen judo tournament, right?
Business suits to
imagine like basically imagine in America we have like Coca-Cola versus Intel or something, like fighting in this world, business championship, right? Each corporation has their own judo team. That's what they do in Japan. It's like corporation sponsors judokas, or they have a judo team and they hire you to be a head coach for their judo team. So when you retire, you can either be a coach there, or they have like a makeup position there where you just push papers,
Coke versus Pepsi on the mat. Let's see who wins. Yeah.
It's very common for a sponsored athlete to, let's say they're not an Olympic team, they're not a national team, but they're sponsored. They would go train like, let's say 4 days out of the week. And then the other 3 days they would go to work, to wear a suit and then go to work and maybe like just sit there and answer phone calls or something. Like that's common. You can think of it as like reservists, people who are reservists, you can like take a leave for work to go train every like weekend or something. It's kind of like that. So they have a whole structure in Japan that's very unique and different from how we do it. So, well,
if it's any popular judo country, probably has something like that. Like how bring it back, like Teddy Reiner, he gets sponsorship he gets sponsored by people and like companies individually.
Under Armour sponsors him.
Yeah. He gets paid by his dojo that he trains / teaches at, and he gets his also supplement for being part of the team, the national team.
That's different because that's like being a Nike athlete here, like Tiger Woods getting sponsored by Nike or something. But the Japanese ones, like nobody, they just want to sponsor a judo athlete, like and you come. It's different. Yeah, it's a very interesting structure, and I think we mentioned. I was sick, but I think when I went to Japan, Richard and our Sensei Moss, they went to invite only kind of place that's like a lot of corporate sponsor athletes go train there, and it was hardcore. Like,
it sounds fun to me. Like, I'll try it out. Why not? Beat me up. Go ahead. Yeah. Don't threaten me with a good time. But back to the IJF is that. So what IJF is starting to do now, and you can see it a lot on the YouTube channel, is that they're now filming and showing the events live, like all stuff that they can't. They can't show the Olympics because those are individual countries, individual contracts. Like in America, that's why we couldn't watch the Olympic Games on the YouTube channel. We had to get Peacock and all this other BS stuff. Here
even then, you can't watch it.
Yeah, so. You can't even watch it. We had to use a website, and then that would kick you off after 5 minutes. But so the IJF is starting to become more professional, and some players now, when they're retiring, are starting to work for them. And it's not just people like, I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's talking about Neil Adams. It's like, oh, well, Neil Adams is a world champion, great player, works for them, does all this stuff. It's like, no, like, yes, Neil Adams does commentary. He does a lot of their videos for him.
He is the voice of judo. That's what they call him. Yeah.
He is the voice of judo. I'm not gonna do my impression of him. He is the voice of judo. But they have other players there. Like, I should have wrote their names down. What was that? The Scottish woman's name that also does the announcing for them. They have this. They have the Scottish woman.
Loretta, I think her name.
Yeah. Loretta. They have her. And again, okay, she was like a world champion or something. I was a world champion, I believe she was. Did really well. And they had that Scandinavian dude also, that big dude.
I can't remember his name. I know what you're talking about.
I know you're talking about.
I hear his voice in my head, but
yeah. He has that big voice. So yeah, those got the lady and those gentlemen right there. Yeah, they were very high level players, but they also have not a new announcing, but they're bringing in other people like from America. Okay, they have what's her name? God, I just wrote it down right here. Where did I put it at? Hannah
Martin.
What's her? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying she was a bad judo player. Okay. She's a very good judo player, especially for America, but she wasn't a world beater. She's not a world champion. She's not an Olympic champion stuff, but they hired her because she has a good personality. She knows how to talk.
It's also what her degree was. It's marketing. So yeah.
So they hired her and she does announcing now. It's not just, oh, you have to be a world champion or you have to be an Olympic champion or something or be one of the top players. No, she has a marketing degree. She now lives in Germany.
She lives in Germany with her husband. Yeah.
Yeah. So it probably helps out. She lives out there too, but look at her. She's retired from judo and now she's doing that. I mean, I think it's something that's actually going to come up for more people now because it's becoming so much easier now to watch judo and look at judo. Look at us. We have the podcast right here. Okay. How many ex-judo players during the pandemic were all busting out podcasts,
Yeah.
When we started off, it was just, when we started off, it was just you and me. It was you, me, two other people. Like that was it. Then after a while, I was like, oh shit, there's like 50 podcasts. Who's going to listen to us?
I think we're the only ones left that still put out content on a regular schedule.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Outlast. Ha. I might not beat you in the first minute, but I get you in the fourth. So to me, I think that's a new thing because more countries are becoming more channels, becoming more stuff put out there. Who knows? I bet you in like other countries, like is Hulu, like other countries, like would they have like Hulu, Peacock, Netflix? Do you think they would do their own judo broadcasting as well?
No, I don't think so. It's maybe in big judo countries. Like I don't know about France, but for example, Japan has their own commentary, right? I think what would benefit American judo is if they had someone like Travis Stevens, someone like well-known, or Ronda Rousey or Kelly Harrison commentate it. But at the same time, this is actually what they do. When I lived in Hong Kong, and also in Hong Kong, we get a lot of Japanese broadcasting that's dubbed or subbed over. What they usually do for sports like this, that's not super, super popular, is that they would have one person who's an expert or two people on the panel who's expert, and then like a third person who's like a TV personality or someone that like doesn't really know about the sport that much, but is interested in it. And then that way they can be like, oh, like that was so cool. What was that? And then the people who are more well-known would explain it to that person. And that's a good way of educating the audience about the sport. And usually that one person is a really attractive model or,
you're talking to the guy that grew up watching Pride and stuff. And it's always funny. Like Japanese pro wrestling, Japanese MMA always does this. They'll always have the color commentator, the ex-fighter or person I know they're talking about, and they'll have some weird model. And you just hear these two guys talking, you know, that was a great throw. Oh, that was, and then the model goes, oh, that was very beautiful. How did that look right there? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Give me a soft voice out of nowhere.
It can't be just some random person that's not interested in judo. It has to be like someone who has an interest in it. Or even like an amateur level, someone like, it's kind of like if you watch YouTube for cooking shows or something, like there's like an amateur cook, and then there's like an expert cook, and then there's like someone who doesn't know jack shit, right? So that kind of gives a good balanced panel and would educate the audience, I think, versus just having a panel of experts. Like everything you talk about goes over the head of people who don't really train judo seriously or know the rules or anything.
Well, we have that with people that listen to us sometimes. They like our broadcast. They like what we talk. They like what we talk about. But then we start going like Judo Talk, or we've had messages like, so what was this you guys talked about? Could you explain what that was? And it's like, shit.
We need to break it down. We gotta like say like this means that. And
when we talk about, that was great. I can't remember what throw we were talking about or something, or even something simple like, Yakuseko Geiko. We talk about, blah, blah. Yeah. Like, what does Yakuseko Geiko mean? French randori, light randori. But I think that's a new avenue that's going to open up for a lot of judo players, for a lot of countries, doing analyzing jobs, because there's a lot more avenues now with YouTube. The IJF is making their stuff more broader, and they're going to need announcers, I think, for every country. They're not going to do everything in English. Like they do have it in English and French already, I believe, but that's going to be a new thing, I think. And you don't have to be a world beater for that.
There has to be money in it for them to hire people to do that, though. So
yeah, it's just one of those things with judo where, like, for us, we think of judo as like a poor sport because of us in America. But if you're in France or Japan or Korea or something, it's not thought of like a poor sport. It's like there's money in it. Like we said before, you have Teddy Riner being sponsored by Under Armour.
Yep.
In America, The Rock is sponsored by Under Armour. In France, they think Teddy Riner. Okay. Can I get a pair of Teddy Riner shoes? Huge, probably. Wouldn't they be like some big old shoes?
Man, I want the Under Armour gis. They had Teddy Riner wears the Under Armour gis.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think I did talk about that before.
Yeah. That'll be cool. Yeah.
Dude, I still want that PlayStation gi. All right. Where am I going to get a PlayStation gi at? All right.
We can make our own Hollywood Judo PlayStation gi and get sued.
Probably. PlayStation at the door trying to sue us. All right. So the last thing now. So people go into coaching, open up their own dojos. People go into analyzing now. There's a lot more avenues that way. And the last thing, because we're a combat sport and because it's popular now, it's be like, oh, now that you're retired, are you going to go into MMA? That's like the big question now. Always when someone big retires, even going back, Teddy Riner again, people were asking like the last Olympics, like, hey, can you imagine Teddy Riner in MMA? And I know he made, he offended some MMA people being like, he finds MMA as a brutal sport. He said like he finds it.
Well, France actually had banned MMA until recently.
Yeah.
And it's just that the ban just got lifted.
Yeah. Like he said something about like, he finds it as a brutal sport. And he can't imagine punching a man in the face on the ground. I'm like, oh, I can, Mr. Reiner. Let me do it for you. Allow me, sir. Get out of my way. Let me do it for you. But that's the big thing is people now going to MMA. And that's the whole thing about Munkhbat is that now she's going to go into MMA. And I wonder, because she's a huge name, big name, is she going to go straight? Like, I don't know. Is she going to go straight to the UFC? Would the UFC be interested
into her? I think ONE FC is more realistic.
That's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
It's like, I would love to see in the UFC, but because of money and because you want to stay in Asia, and a lot of people, the reason a lot of Japanese fighters stay in Japan, fight in Ryzen now and fight in one of the championships, because they don't like coming to America and they don't like American weight classes too. That's the other thing.
Also, I don't think UFC pays you that well. So
yeah,
I still think judo would probably give her more money than UFC.
Yeah. So it'd be great to see her in one championship. It'd be interesting to see her in Ryzen. I think the Ryzen weight doesn't have, they both don't have a lot of female fighters. They're like pretty much built around just a few women, but it'll be interesting to see. Would she like to fight in Japan or would she like to fight in Southeast Asia?
Yeah.
Because I don't think, like, I follow a lot of MMA and I don't think Mongolia, they have to have some sort of MMA federation there, like some sort of thing. Or would she go fight in Russia because she's so close to there?
Yeah.
I don't see her. Like, I know someone might toss this out there. Well, what about Road FC? No. Road FC, no.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, Road FC is like, if you're bored and have nothing to watch, it's something kind of fun to watch Road FC, but I can't stand Road. Like, it started off like...
When you say Road FC, all I can remember is the clip of the guy getting kicked in the balls.
Oh, man. They had the guy... He's kicking the
the only one I remember.
He's having a heart attack on the floor.
Oh, my God.
But they also had the Korean girl that got her hair stuck in the... She got her hair stuck in the cage.
Oh my God.
And they broke it up, got her hair out the cage. And there was a Japanese girl she was fighting, had a takedown for the most part. And they just said like, okay, stop, get her hair out the cage. And they stood him back up and like, hey, this is cheating right here. What's going on? But if you never watch Road FC, I might get some heat for this, but I'm gonna take this heat. It is built to get Koreans get them numbers up, get you to get noticed. So you can go build up their records. And like, if you watch them recently, like during the pandemic, they're doing this thing where they were having like smaller events And it was like a time limit for Newaza time. Like if you took a person down and weren't doing anything, they would stand you back up like after like 5 seconds. And I was like, this ain't karate combat. Come on, let them fight. Yep. But I would love to see her fight in one championship. I'd love to see her fight in Ryzen. I think it would be interesting for her to come to the US, fight maybe in Bellator or fight in the UFC, because I think she deserves that respect with how good of a player that she is.
If Kayla Harrison isn't fighting the UFC, I don't see Munkhbat fighting the UFC. Sorry.
They don't have Kayla Harrison's weight class in the UFC.
That's true.
She fights at 155, true. Even though she can't cut to 145. Yep. And she was in the audience during that last fight with Jessica. Is her name Jess? God, I can't remember. People, you know what I'm talking about. Last fight. But that's the thing. So people may think that's a new thing about judo players going into MMA. That's a new thing. It's just happening now.
I think we will see more people do that now that France MMA is allowed. I mean, you already see a lot of ex-judokas that didn't make it fully in Japanese team go fight in like Ryzen and stuff like that.
That's a big thing. That's been happening since Pride.
So now that MMA is legal in France, I think you're gonna see that. And France is a huge judo country. So people who don't make it to the national team you can probably see them going to MMA.
Yeah. And for our American listeners that might understand, it's like, so judo in France and like in Japan, a certain other country where judo is super popular. It's how American wrestling is. How like every American MMA player, whether it's male or female, has a wrestling background. You see a lot of American wrestlers that didn't do well, finished in college, didn't get to the Olympics, didn't get on the national team, go into MMA. That's what's happening in Asia, especially in Japan, where if they didn't make the national team or after they're done with their careers competing, they're going to MMA. And this is going back all the way to Yoshida. You know, he fought Gracie. Was his first MMA fight when they had the anniversary. Was it like the 50th or whatever anniversary of judo versus BJJ? And he had a great career in Pride, in wasn't Sengoku. He fought in Dream also. But they've been doing this for years. Like one of my favorite judo players, he was on the national team, didn't compete too much internationally, but I thought he fought in the UFC, was, oh my God, did I write his name down? I don't think Omigawa. Omigawa, you might remember him. He fought everywhere. Like towards the end of his career, he got really good with boxing. So he just fell in love with his hands too much, which happens to a lot of judo players. If you notice, like even Hector Lombard, just like, oh, I got dynamite in these hands. I'm going to just knock people out. Like, no, use your judo. Take them down, please. Throw them. But it's been happening for such a long time that ever since Pride, it's not a new thing that judo players, when they retire, go into MMA. And that seems like
it's a very common thing amongst male judokas, but not so much female. So it'll be very interesting to see this become more popular.
I can't remember her name, but she was the queen of atom weight years ago. And she was a female judo player, catch wrestler, and Sambo woman. She had her last few fights in Bellator. But before that, like she used to beat everybody back in Jewel. I think that was the federation she was fighting in Japan.
Yeah. Are you talking about you're not talking about Sexyama's not Sexyama.
No. Megumi Fuji.
Yeah.
Yes. She was amazing. Really solid judo player. Went into MMA and was destroying everybody. But because MMA wasn't so popular back then, because women's MMA was definitely not popular back then, she didn't get the recognition she deserved. But Megumi Fuji, go look her up if you want to. Go look at Megumi Fuji. Amazing fights that she had. And even her Bellator fights that she lost, like I had her winning some of those fights, but amazing fighter. So this isn't a new thing. And it goes back to, again, to America. We brought up Kayla Harrison. Always mess up her name. Sorry, Miss Harrison. Being one of the top judo players, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. And what did she do? She went to MMA and dominated MMA because she's using her judo. You know, she knows how to strike. She shows her striking, but she doesn't deviate from the plan. She takes a person down and ground and pound. That's all you need. Even with Ronda Rousey, until she stopped, since she deviated from the plan. It's not too much boxing.
Let's not go there.
I'm not gonna go. I'm just saying. You come to the dojo. Go for Anthony again. Anthony said it. It was Anthony that said it.
Speaking of judo and MMA, though, if you guys haven't watched this last UFC fight, there was a fight, Cody Stamen versus same last name as Khabib.
It's Khabib's cousin.
Nurmagomedov. Yeah. Go watch that. That was beautiful takedown in a submission. Like,
he did the Uchimata.
He does the Uchimata into the guillotine grip into a Sumigaishi and then finished off the guillotine. It was an amazing transition. And I was a little disappointed that the commentators like Joe Rogan and DC didn't give as much credit or talk about the importance of that Uchimata goal. Because he would have gone a guillotine grip. Yeah. Well,
that's the whole thing.
They're just like, he got a guillotine grip, but they didn't go like, oh my God, that takedown into the guillotine grip. Like, he wouldn't have gotten it if he didn't do the Uchimata. So
DC, because he's a wrestler, he's an American wrestler stuff, Olympic levels. He's not a judo player, even though he trains with a bunch of judo guys. It just hasn't rubbed off on him. He sees that as, he calls it as a wizard kick. Mm-hmm. And I get it. It's not a wizard kick because the way he does it, he has the full judo grip with it. When I learned a wizard kick, it was just the overhook right here for the wizard, or it was just the overhook he had, and he just kicked the leg out, just trying to pop him over you and stuff. So I get what he thinks that it is, because that's the style that he knows. So that's why he's gonna call it to what he knows it as. But us as judo players, and knowing that he's a judo player, knowing that he's a sambo player, we know, oh, he's doing Uchimata. Oh, he just went to Sumigaeshi. That's going to the guillotine. It's like if you watch that same card, and I told you about it, Francis Ngannou attempting Uchimata with a wizard. He was really just doing a wizard kick. He attempted that Uchimata with the leg and stuff, with the grip, not grabbing the wrist on the other side, not holding the other guy, like almost breaking the guy's arm when they landed on it. Like, I remember the commentators were like, "Oh my God, is his arm okay?" And I was like, "That's probably any normal person, it'd be broken."
Yeah. That's what I'm scared of. Because we've been doing some no-gi stuff after class, and I don't have that much experience with it. But the first thing I realized was like, damn, like all these wizard throws and body lock throws, I'm afraid of breaking my arm when we land. That's what I'm afraid of. So
yeah, the underhook, overhook and stuff. And there's just certain things that when we were doing things, you're like, Juan, what's that? What are you doing that? I'm like, I don't know. It's just nature to me. I'm doing it so long, I don't realize I'm really doing it.
Yeah.
Like some of the grip breaking, I was doing stuff. Yeah. But back to the topic at hand, that was talking about retirement of international players. Me and Anthony both wish the best for Munkhbat. We loved her style. We love watching her fight and stuff. If you can, go check out her judo. It's great judo. And I can't wait to see how she does in MMA. I'm excited to see her go to Ryzen or One Championships or wherever she decides to go. I want to see. Ooh, you want to know what? Actually, what if she goes to Eagle FC?
Come on.
What? Why not?
You think so?
Why not? If people don't know what Eagle FC is, that's God, we just talked about it right now. Khabib. That's Khabib's new federation, and they're actually having their first show tonight. Tomorrow night they're doing their first show. From when we filmed, from when we did this. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Anthony? Anything about retirement?
We're talking about these big names of people that go basically stay within, let's just say, combat sports. But there's plenty of people that don't and just end up getting an office job or opening a fruit stand or living on a farm somewhere. Like it's not always like that, but it'll be cool if we can, like, I wish that my job was related to judo. I do have like skill sets I feel like that could be used, but I don't think there's money in America for it. So it's sad, but
well, it's funny you brought that up because this goes, I was looking to see if I wrote his name down because I'm a big fan of his. Well, I was a big fan of his. So back when Pride closed down, Japanese MMA turned into two different federations for the most part.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And then they turned into Ryzen Fighting Championships. And Ryzen Fighting Championships had this one judo player. He was, I can't remember because I thought I looked him up. I might have not looked him up. But he was a Ryzen Fighting Championships. I can't remember if he was a light heavyweight champion or middleweight champion. Mm-hmm. And he he beat Eliadis for the world championship. So if you see this video of a Japanese judo player beating Eliadis for the world championships, it's him. And so he went to MMA and he wasn't super popular. He was a very big counter fighter. So that's why he wasn't super big. Remember when he first came out, people were comparing him to Ishii, but Ishii, people loved his style because Ishii was just a big thrower. He would go in, just toss people. Whereas him, he was more of a counter guy, more methodical. He had a great uchimata. But yeah, so he went to MMA and he fought at Raiden Fighting Championship. He fought there. And during all his fights, the American commentating team would talk about how his family hated him doing MMA and how his family would always be like, he needs to retire. He needs to stop fighting. Because they would do like the Japanese videos. They would just do things about like them with their family at home. Just like
the backstory.
The translations was his dad always being like, he needs to retire from MMA. He's not a fighter. He needs to come home and be a fisherman like the rest of his family. Yeah. So it's just one of those things like, he's a world champion judo player. Okay. On the Japanese team, world champion, and his dad is still like, he needs to be a fisherman. Not he needs to stick to judo or he needs to become a judo coach or something. No, he needs to be a fisherman. So I wonder if that's what he's doing now. Like I really enjoyed his fighting back then. But his last fight, I remember watching, he got knocked out by Gegard Mousasi in Dream when they did one of those cross promotion shows. Got knocked out by him. But yeah, some people they don't even do judo when they retire. They become fishermen. This terrible story. I feel so bad to tell you that because I liked him a lot. I liked him. I thought he was a really good fighter, but it's just videos of their dad being like, he needs to become a fisherman. He needs to
personally. My mom calls me and says I spend too much time at the dojo, and
you don't spend enough time at the dojo.
Well, she was like, your wife's gonna leave you, and she's saying I spend too much time at the dojo. I should like just give up. I don't get paid to teach, so I should stop teaching. And like, you're not getting paid. Your body's going to get beat up. I was like, oh, I enjoy it. And it's good for me. So yeah.
It's the love of the martial art, man.
Yeah.
Just how it is. All right. Is that what you're talking about when you retire?
When I retire, I'm going to do more judo. That's why I'm
yeah. Exactly. Just keep teaching. Build beginner classes up. Build those kids classes up.
Yeah. Got to have more training partners.
I wish.
Yeah.
So Anthony, anything else you want to talk about today?
I think that's it.
All right. So do you want me to do the outro or do you want to do it today?
No, you go ahead.
You want me to do it? You sure you don't want to do it today?
I think I'm good.
You're good? Oh man, this guy. Okay. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow us on YouTube at Tatami Talk. You can follow us on Instagram at Tatami Talk. If you want to send us any emails about questions, things you want us to talk about, things you want us to go over, you can go ahead and hit us up at tatamitalk@gmail.com. You can follow me at @Juan on Instagram. You follow Anthony at Anthony Throws on Instagram. Is that it?
Yep.
Did I forget anything?
No.
I know it's so hard about it. You can do it.
I just kind of lost my voice from yelling at the kids last week. So.
You don't yell at them. You just punish them with hard.
I'm not yelling at them. I just have a low voice, so they ignore me unless I raise my voice. So I can't even do karaoke. Like I sing one song and then like I'm done. Voice. So yeah.
No screamo for you.
Nope.
All right, everybody. Thank you. See you guys next time. Peace out. And Anthony, don't forget to
slap the mat.
All right. Yeah.
All right.